This is a lesson on staccato articulation for classical guitar. And for an example, I'm using the first piece that uses staccatos in my free method book. So that's a free PDF method book. It's about 100 pages long, which you can get off the website for free, and there's a link for that in the YouTube info section. You can also buy a hard copy off Amazon if you want, but the PDF is free. So this is on page 33. This is the Waltz duet, and there's staccatos. There's a video of the actual duet being played with another person, which I'll link to as well in the YouTube info section, so you can listen to the actual duet. But this is just a lesson on staccato. So staccato, you'll notice the little dots above the notes indicating staccato. And whenever I teach staccato, I always teach it in relationship to legato. So we compare legato and staccato together in order to see what the difference is. So on the most basic level, legato is just like a continuous connected sound from one note to another. Staccato is the opposite. It's a disconnected sound. It's like a short disconnected sound. So if we do legato on a single note, we try to connect the notes to each other, so there's not much of a break between them. Staccato would be the opposite. So you can hear like it's short each time, it's cut short. The rhythm is the same, quarter notes, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The rhythm is the same, and yet the notes are shorter. So this is an articulated staccato note. Now, the easiest way to do this, if you're a beginner, especially for this waltz piece, is to use right-hand staccato. So a right-hand preparation on the string. That's done by placing the next finger. If we're playing with IM, and you play with the I finger, you immediately place the M finger to stop the sound. And that's true of when you're playing legato. If you put your finger down too soon, it won't be legato. You're stopping the sound. So in a legato stroke, your finger kind of goes right through the string, spending as little time on that string as possible. Staccato, you can see my fingers are placing the next available finger on the string as soon as possible and spending a long time on the string to stop the sound. So in this piece, you have a legato bar and then a staccato bar. Legato, staccato. So you can kind of practice comparing the two different techniques together. And I would recommend mainly doing that with the right hand, and you can practice it just on an open string, right? So you just place the next available finger and you plant it on the string beforehand. And then compare it to legato, where you have to go through the string, spending no time on it. Now, on occasion, not in this piece, but on occasion, you'll have staccato where there's an open string or something and the right hand preparation trick won't really work. For example, see, going down, my next finger has to get ready for the next note, so that open B string ended up ringing out. In that case, we usually use a little bit of left-hand staccato, or left-hand muting, really. And you'll notice players do this all the time. By just kind of placing the hand over top of there, or doing kind of like a slightly poor placement in the left hand, so that it mutes that string out. It's a very subtle technique. Now, if you're a beginner, don't worry about that. Just do the right hand staccato. And I specifically chose this waltz piece in the book because it doesn't change notes. So you can practice your right hand staccatos without having to worry about left hand muting or anything like that. If you're a more advanced player, you can practice doing your staccatos with scales and things like that, and muting out the notes in various different ways. Sometimes it'll be with the right hand, sometimes with the left hand, with like a quick movement of one of the fingers to stop the sound. But this video is mainly for students using my first method book. So in that particular piece, just contrast your legato from your staccato and use your right hand to accomplish that. You'll also notice, by the way, in my left hand, that I release the pressure whenever I do the staccato. So it's like a very subtle, like on or off. I don't let go of the string. So I don't take my finger off the string, but I'm letting the pressure release. So that's just like an extra safety thing that I'm doing. So even though the right hand is taking care of that, I'm still kind of doing it with the left hand, just out of reflex, really, as like an extra lift or safety. Because technically, I know there's extra ringing notes here, but if I just release the pressure from my left hand, that stops the sound as well, right? So that has a little bit to do with it as well. Again, if you're a beginner, just focus on your right hand preparation and that only. I think that's plenty for a beginner to focus on. If you're more of an intermediate player, you could start releasing the notes in the left hand, but keep your finger on the string. And you can just experiment with all these things. So I hope that's helpful for people that are using the my first method book, and this was a requested lesson, so I hope that answers your question and allows you to continue working on the book.